Hi, I'm Katie Kempner, and welcome to Perspectives here at Advertising Week Europe. Perspectives is a series of inspiring conversations with remarkable working women balancing busy, successful, and interesting lives. And that is certainly defines our next guest, Asma Khan, who is the
Yes.
founder and chef of Darjeeling Express. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you've just opened, is this right?
Yes.
Recently?
It's very recent. It's just about 9 months.
Tell us what made you, I mean, as someone who has a PhD in law, what made you decide to open a restaurant?
It was my calling. I realized very uh, early on when I started my PhD, that I got no pleasure from teaching. I got completely stressed out. But cooking a meal just kind of, it wasn't cooking the meal so much as watching someone else eat the food I'd cooked. I loved seeing their face, their eyes, the joy. And I realized that I could never, ever get this satisfaction from winning a legal case or a point of law. That was just nothing compared to cooking for someone and watching them eat.
So, how did you take that realization and translate that into actually opening a restaurant?
I was very lucky because it's quite hard, especially in London where it's so competitive. Even when the economy doesn't do so well, it's very hard to get good properties. And if you're a first timer, and especially if you're a woman with no track record, no credit history, I'd never done anything like this. I didn't even have a credit card. For a landlord to take me seriously, I was doing a temporary pop-up just down the road, in fact, from where I am now, in Soho. Someone who gave me a kitchen in the pub. The landlord came to eat every Friday. So that was a magical thing. And he came and said, your food is wonderful. I love your ethos. And because I have an all-women kitchen, and he could see these women going in and out. And what surprised him is that everybody left at 2, because 3 o'clock is the magic time. Everyone has to pick up their kids. And he was like, this is so amazing that you run a kitchen all with women. We just do 2 shifts. So you do the morning shift, you go pick up your kids, and then those who picked up their kids come in at 4 o'clock. And I said, this is perfectly normal. And he said, you should open a restaurant. I said, no, landlord will give me a place. He said, I will. And he did.
That's amazing. So let's talk about this because, in advertising, we're constantly talking about working mothers and
Yeah.
how to make it work and can you balance everything. And that really is the crux of what I talk about. And you seem to have figured out a way for all the people that work with you. Everyone that works with you is a woman
Yes.
and a mother?
And most of them are mothers and grandmothers. I have 2 grandmothers working for me.
That's amazing. So how did you figure out that this would work this way?
This just made sense. I have children of my own. I couldn't work or do anything because 2 o'clock is this panic time. Because even if you're a minute late, your kid will say, I was waiting for an hour. Everybody's gone home. It's so stressful. And you're going to hear about this for the rest of their lives, that you were late to pick them up. Or this is a fear that most mothers have. And I did as well. So I just figured that if I got so stressed at 2 o'clock, I wasn't going to make anyone work beyond 2:30. It does hit the bottom line because we can't take late tables at lunchtime. So people rock up late at lunchtime and we say everyone needs to go to school to pick up their kids. Most people are so understanding. Men and women, this is fine, What can we have? So, they get a reduced menu. They're perfectly fine. They're happy. If you come after 2, you don't get the whole menu. Mm-hmm. And no one complains.
And dinner service?
Dinner service as well. At 9:30, everyone leaves because the thing is that they live far away, a lot of them, and not close to tube stations. And in London, that can get very painful, especially in winter. So we do it very openly. We have a tube map and a road map open every week when we do the rota. So the people who live furthest away and have very young children leave first, and I leave last because I can afford to take a taxi home. So however late, and we just work this out. So those who stay far away leave early. Those who have very young kids leave early. It's never been a problem because everyone knows, your 4-year-old will become 6-year-old at some point, and then you will be in a position to stay and look after the others. I think women are amazing. There's this kind of unspoken understanding so there's no long conversations. People just write down the hour, and no one disputes. This is the time I need to leave. You leave at that time.
I'm blown away. I mean, it's so empathetic, but it also makes so much business sense.
It does.
So, I mean, to me, I would assume that you end up with extremely loyal
Yes.
workers
Yes.
who are not going to miss a shift.
No.
in the restaurant business, I think that happens quite a bit. I was in it for a very short time.
I'm fully staffed, and I've had some of them, while I was doing temporary work and I was doing supper clubs from my own house, I've known some of them, they've worked with me for 5 years. They are fiercely loyal, very committed. And, some of them have got, one, the grandmother has got her daughter-in-law to work for me. Another one has got a sister to work for me. Their sense of pride, their commitment, they've taken ownership of the business. It is theirs because they feel. And I think I don't need to tell them that they are part of the reason why we have succeeded. They know it. They know it.
And when you're invested like that as a worker, everything is better. The product is better.
Yes.
Everything.
And
Service.
also, it's an open plan kitchen. And people are wonderful. And they, especially women, so many women come up, clap, thank the women. You see their faces because they really, that is so fulfilling. And that's with every job. But every night in a tough service, 7:30, 8:30 tables leave, come and say, oh, we love this, we love that. It was so fantastic. It was so smooth, it was so whatever. Praising a particular dish. That person who made it, you see their heart. It just swells up with pride. And that has been wonderful because people have been nice. They understand that this is just, housewives. We are 9 women in a kitchen. And I think people are so much nicer and kinder than you think. I've opened the business and I've realized, especially women have been fantastic to us.
That's so amazing. I'm blown away. So if we go there, when we go,
yes,
what should we order?
You should order as much as, you try and bring as many people as you can. Because really our food is meant to be shared. And the whole thing, Indian food is, lots of textures, tastes. So the whole menu is designed that, you've got different flavors, different spices, but all meant to be eaten together. So, ideally, bring 4 people and come, order. We only have 4 mains because we cook fresh. We cook fresh for lunch and dinner. Our freezer is full of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Nothing goes in the freezer, everything is cooked fresh. Everyone knows that, they can see it being cooked. And all the vegetables are cooked when you order it. So it's a very, very small menu. And so, even 4 people come, they can eat the entire menu.
It sounds amazing.
Tazs you.
Now, is the Haagen-Dazs for you and your workers or to serve as dessert?
No, mostly for me. Mostly for me. I love ice cream, even in this kind of horrible cold weather. So we just have ice cream because I love ice cream. And all the women, because most of us are from South Asia, and ice cream is a luxury thing. People don't have freezers in the house. It's an expensive thing. And I think for many of these women who came from very deprived backgrounds, it is, to be able to have an ice cream a day is a nice feeling. I realized that. So I always have ice cream. And it's nice, between service we eat ice cream.
It sounds great. So I like to end my interviews by just asking if there's one piece of advice that has helped guide you through your life that you can share with us. What is it?
My mother had said this to me. She said that there is something ingrained in a lot of us women, and, this is really a South Asian context, fear of failure. And she said the maximum that can happen to you is you fall. She said you have to stand at the edge of the cliff and think you'll fly and jump. She says, you will never fall if you know and you're sure you'll fly. I did. And I think I always try and tell women that, fear is the one thing that holds us back. And never, ever fear, because even a small failure, you'll get up and you can do it again. And so this, you shouldn't hold back and just go for it.
Well, you certainly have gone for it, and it's amazing. And I really thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.